Welcome along to the Motorhome Matt podcast. I'm Keith Gooden, and as usual, we welcome our motorhome expert, the man himself. It's Matt Sims.
Hey Keith, how you doing?
I'm fine, thanks very much.
Good.
All the better for being with you. Today we're talking about something very important, quite a lot of them as well. 6 things that could ruin your motorhome hire holiday and how to avoid them. A snappy title if ever I heard one.
Well, it says what it does. It is what it says on the tin.
Okay, then. First of all, I mean, I feel that we should have that chart music. You do play. Number one. So we're counting up, not down. And number one, research. Tell us about the research. What should we be doing before we hire our motorhome?
I'm going to assume you're looking to hire a motorhome to go on a holiday. Maybe you've never done it before, and you're looking to find someone to hire from. And there are lots of places you can hire from. You can hire online from these kind of Airbnb type sites where you're basically hiring a motorhome off someone's driveway. Or you could go to a rental business where they've got 1, 2, or maybe 30 or maybe 200 motorhomes to choose from and hire. So doing your research into who you're hiring from is really important. It's a great first place to start, both in terms of the research of which motorhome you want to hire and then into the company that you want to hire from. Now, as you know, I'm the MD of Motorhome Holiday Company, so I come at this with a big sense of bias. And we have a fleet of 30 plus motorhomes that people can hire based near Weston-super-Mare. And so we deal with customers every day that are looking to hire from us that have never used a motorhome before. In fact, they've got no idea what to do and what to ask about, which motorhome to hire. They just got the dream of going away on a motorhome holiday. So number one, do your research. And by that, I mean into the business. So wherever you are in the world, you can do this research. Google is your friend. So look for their reviews, read the reviews. Have they got reviews? Are they a genuine business? There sadly have been a number of scams in the past where these businesses are fake and they look really, really real. Friends of mine were caught out by them and they consider themselves pretty savvy, and the money was taken and there was no holiday at the end of it. So do your research, check that they're a real business, read the reviews, go on their Facebook page, do a Google on them, go to Companies House. If you're in the UK and the company's registered in the UK, go to Companies House. Are they a bona fide limited company? Or are they a family who've launched a brand name and they're hiring out, Mabel from the driveway? That's fine. But just be aware of what you're dealing with. If you are hiring Mabel from the driveway, it might be you've got his DVDs and her knickers in the drawer. You just need to be mindful.
Or the other way around.
Well, it could be. She might be a keen DVD watcher. So you just be aware of what you're in for. And if you're hiring a motorhome from a third-party website, so there are lots of them out there, GoBooney, Camplify, and so on. And they're Airbnb type models where they are just a listing site. And again, try and do as much research on the person or people and company you're hiring from as you possibly can.
Well, number 2 on the list of the 6 things that you should pay attention to before you go on your holiday, check your plan B. It's difficult enough for me to come up with a plan A. Now you want another one.
What I mean by that is what if something goes wrong? So motorhomes break down, they go wrong. And what's the company or your supplier going to do in that instance? Ask the question. It might be they don't have one. It is their only motorhome that you're hiring from them and they haven't got a plan B. And is that a risk you're prepared to take? As a motorhome hire business with a fleet, that the guys have a backup plan. There's always another plan B. We're also part of a big network of hire companies, and we will help each other out. If we had to, we could bring a motorhome in from somewhere else. So, what is their plan B? If it's your holiday, you've saved up for this all year, you've looked forward to it for a long time. Particularly currently, some of us haven't been on holiday for 2-3 years. So, what is the plan B? Make sure your holiday has got a plan B.
Number 3 on the list, confirm your breakdown policy. What does that mean?
So again, as I say, motorhomes can go wrong. What breakdown cover have you got? What's going to happen if the motorhome engine fails? What's the breakdown service? Now, most hire companies pay quite an extensive sum of money to have a fleet breakdown cover, which is brilliant. We have a range of suppliers. Actually, we use the RAC with their fleet policy in our business, but we also have a range of other suppliers. If a tyre blew out, we have a network of tyre repair people that we can call upon, and they are remarkable. I mean, these guys are at the side of the road 24/7, and they'll get somewhere in minutes often and have a new tyre on the vehicle. So, and we have those accounts set up. So, just check again. It's about protecting your holiday and making sure that if something goes wrong, there is a plan to fix it.
Well, point 4 out of our 6-point plan seems obvious to me. Forgive me for saying so, but are you legal to drive?
Well, yeah. So if you passed your test before 1997, as you and I did, because we're old, we can drive up to 7.5 tons. But Jordan, behind the camera, we're videoing this podcast, didn't. He's a youngster, and he passed his test not that long ago. When did you pass your test? 7 years ago. So back in 2015, Jordan can't drive anything over 3.5 tons. Now, lots of motorhomes require you to have what's called a C1 license entitlement. If they weigh over 3.5 tons, they're 3.8 or 4 tons, you have to have that C1 entitlement. Equally, when you turn 70, the DVLA automatically remove that entitlement. So if you're over 70 and you're hiring a motorhome, you need to check you've got that entitlement. You, of course, only need it if the motorhome you're hiring is over 3.5 tons. The vast majority are 3.5 tons. So anyone with a car driving license, a B1 license, can drive them. But just check you're legal. The other thing to check is that your photo driving license is actually still in date. So every 10 years you have to renew it. So do you know when your photo driving license expires?
I think it's in about 3 years' time.
I know mine is about the same. But most people have an idea, but do you remember to check it? I remember putting it in my diary to remind me. You're going to need to produce that as ID when you hire the motorhome. And if you don't have that photo ID, you may not be able to go away on that holiday. So check you've got the right license entitlement for the vehicle you want to drive and that your photo license ID is in date.
So in 3 years' time, Matt, when you're 70, then and you can't drive with a C1 entitlement, how do you gain one?
So good question. It's pretty simple, actually. You go to the doctor, they will give you an assessment, fill out a form for you, which you send off to the DVLA, and the DVLA will reinstate it for you. There is a charge. The surgery are going to charge you a fee. It's anywhere between 50 and a few £100, depending on where you are in the country and depending on the surgery. I was given a great tip on this recently by an audience member of a talk I was giving at the recent NEC Campervan show. Someone in the audience said, Matt, don't go and get the forms from the post office. They're always out of date. I'm sure that's not true. But go and download them from the DVLA website, which is a great piece of advice.
And what if you've got one of those licenses like Jordan, who's filming us today, and you want to get that C1 entitlement? What do you have to do then?
Well, you have to take a test. So to do that is typically around £1,000, and you have to go through a lorry test, which is about a week or longer of your life. Go and sit a driving test.
So just to get this right, somebody who's passed their driving test ages ago and is older can drive a motorhome which is above 3.5 tons.
Yeah.
But it's going to cost £1,000 for young fit Jordan, who might not have had his license for as long, but has probably got better reactions and a better driver.
That's probably true. I've seen you drive, Keith. I know that's true of your driving. So, yeah, that's it. So the law changed from the 1st of January 1997 when you passed your car driving test. If you think about this logically, you get out of a Nissan Micra or a Mini and take the L plates off because you've passed. Woohoo! As my daughter did the other week. Very proud dad. And well done, Neve. And you can then get in a 7.5 ton lorry. That's madness. I wouldn't want my daughter to get out of her little Citroen C1 and then into a 7.5 ton, big green parcel machine. Yeah, that's madness. I did that. And within a week of passing my car driving test, I was driving a lorry, and which seems insane. I loved it at the time, but I was keen to do it. So the rules changed, and I think common sense did prevail. There probably should be, I think, a break point, because a motorhome at 3.5 tons is very, very easily overloaded. And this is something else which isn't on this list that we're talking about today, is just check your weight. Because if there's 6 of you, 6 adults going to a festival, and you've all got kit and caboodle, you could overload that motorhome very, very easily.
Yeah, check how many tins of baked beans you've packed.
Liquids.
Yeah. Number 5 on our list then, how secure is your security deposit?
Well, there we go. So to hire a motorhome, you are going to have to pay for the hire, and then you're going to have to give the hire company probably £1,000. Some charge £500, some charge £2,000, but there's going to be a refundable security deposit to be paid. And any damage or shortages in the motorhome when you return it are going to be deducted from that. So again, this is why doing the research on the company is so important, because you want to know you're going to get that money back. There's been lots of stories, and you'll see them online, of people returning a motorhome in perfect condition, and there has been a deduction for damage that they insist they didn't do. And the disreputable companies might do that. We have a policy where within 48 hours of the return of the motorhome, it's inspected and the deposit is returned and refunded. And we will email to confirm it's been refunded. And if there's any problem, we will call you and go through with you the issue and send photographs and have a discussion about it. So where is that deposit going? We put it into a separate account. We have a client account that it goes in that's ring-fenced, doesn't go into our cash flow. And the risk is that the deposit's held on to for a month, and some companies will hold on to it for 30 days. What if they go bust? Your £1,000 is going to disappear into their bank account. So we will return it within 48 hours. It takes a few days to arrive, but ask the question. It's an easy one to ask and say, well, where is my deposit going, and how quickly after I return it am I going to get it back? Your expectation is then set, and you understand the process that you're in with them.
Yeah, because after all, you don't want a disreputable company using your deposit to pay their staff and hoping for customers next month to be able to return your money.
That's right. Yeah, it's your money, and I think it should be held in a separate account, because it's it's not to be used unless it has to be used.
Yeah, as it is when you're renting a flat these days.
Exactly.
The law has changed.
Yeah.
Okay, number 6 on the list, the final one as well. I suppose this is obvious, but we've all come a cropper with this at some point. Doing something, haven't we? Reading the small print, and sometimes it is very small.
It is very small, and sometimes can be hard to find. So a reputable business or operator will send you a link to read their terms and conditions, and will ask you to sign that you've read them. How many times have we, particularly on an iPhone, a smartphone, you have to tick the box, I agree. Do you read them? I don't.
I don't think anybody does. And in fact, I came across a site the other day and I whizzed down to hit the agree box, and it actually said to me, you haven't read enough of these terms and conditions, and brought me back to the top of the page. But it's only ever happened once. Wow,
so there must have been timed how long you're on the page.
Yeah.
So my advice is read them. It's very easy just to go, nah, be okay, and you just tick the box or sign away, you're right, as it were. But my advice is read them. We have spent thousands of pounds on our terms and conditions, and our lawyers have come back to us and said, you can't say that of a customer. It's not fair. I was actually stunned because we restructured ours recently, and I was impressed and shocked at how the legal team came back to us, and very much on the consumer's side. And it amazed me how rules have changed. So, as a consumer, you are protected, and any company can't just impose terms on you and expect you to abide by them. But if if there's some term you've signed and agreed to, and they're saying, well, you signed this, tough, you'll go have a battle on your hands, which you just don't need and don't want. So, I advise you to read them. Even if it's a scan through, and if you think everything's happy, and you're set and everything's safe, then go for it. If you've got a question, ask it. Say, well, I didn't understand this term. What do you think? Can you explain it to me? And just make sure that you've got peace of mind before you commit.
So read those terms and conditions, because as you say, a company cannot take away your rights. But they can make it very difficult to get your money back by putting one of those unreasonable little paragraphs in there. You have to argue with them for it, and if you did then have to go to law, you'd win. But how much hassle, time, and money has it all cost?
Absolutely, yeah. It's rather ruined the holiday.
Just a bit.
Yeah. Another thing I'd say as well is you go and visit the company if you can. So, we've got a site here with motorhomes available to view. Because of some of the COVID restrictions that have been in play, and we're still operating at the moment, and we probably will for a long time, around fogging motorhomes after they've been viewed, and certainly after they've been used.
That's a disinfectant aerosol, isn't it?
Yes, that's right. Yeah, so we kind of fill it with the atmosphere inside to keep them pathogen free, is the official phrase. And we ask you to arrange an appointment to come and view a motorhome. And the way we would operate is say, well, we want to have an idea how many of you are there, and then we can advise and steer you to a layout that would work, and then come and view some. We run open days as well, which we hope to run again this year, where people can come and just have a look at lots of them, and you can have a choice. So, take some time to go and look at layouts and make sure you're choosing one that you think is going to be a good fit for your holiday.
So those are the 6 things that could ruin your motorhome holiday and how to avoid them. I'd like you to put that on a business card for me. It'd be about that long. Matt Sims, thanks very much.
Pleasure, Keith. Make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel, hit subscribe, hit the bell, and then the gods of YouTube can tell you when there's a new video coming out. And we'll see you on Instagram as well. You can find me motorhomematt.co.uk. See you there.
Ding, ding.